The sun rose over the city of Los Angeles. The sky was an ominous shade of orange. Smoke billowed in the distance. The air was thick and choking. Wildfires raged uncontrollably across the state. Firefighters worked tirelessly. Their efforts seemed like a drop in the ocean. The situation was dire. Residents of Los Angeles woke to chaos. Emergency alerts blared on phones. The fires had spread overnight. Entire neighborhoods were under evacuation orders. Families scrambled to pack essentials. Roads were clogged with cars. The city was a scene of panic. News reporters captured the devastation. Helicopters hovered above the infernos. The flames consumed everything in their path. Houses were reduced to ash. Forests were destroyed. Wildlife fled in terror. The fire's roar was deafening. It drowned out the cries of the displaced. In the heart of the chaos was firefighter Sarah Morgan. She was a veteran of many wildfire seasons. This one was different. The intensity was unprecedented. The team she led was exhausted. They fought the flames for hours. Breaks were rare. The heat was relentless. Sarah received a call on her radio. A fire tornado had been spotted. It was heading towards a densely populated area. The phenomenon was rare, but deadly. It was a whirlwind of flames and debris. It moved with terrifying speed. Sarah knew what had to be done. She ordered her team to regroup. The fire tornado tore through the landscape. It was an unstoppable force. Buildings crumbled in its wake. Trees were uprooted. Vehicles were tossed like toys. The fire burned hotter than anything Sarah had seen. It was a monster born of nature's fury. Evacuation centers were set up across the city. Volunteers worked tirelessly to provide aid. Food and water were distributed. Medical teams treated burns and injuries. The community came together in the face of adversity. Strangers helped each other. Acts of kindness shone through the darkness. Scientists and meteorologists studied the fires. Climate change was a factor. Rising temperatures and drought conditions fueled the infernos. The frequency of such events was increasing. Solutions were debated. Action was needed to prevent future disasters. The warnings were clear. Time was running out. Meanwhile, Sarah and her team continued their battle. They worked to create fire breaks. They used bulldozers and controlled burns. Helicopters dropped water and fire retardant. Progress was slow. The flames were relentless. Each victory felt small. Each setback was devastating. In a quiet suburb, a family huddled together. They watched the news with growing fear. The fires were approaching their home. They packed what they could. They loaded their car with memories, photo albums, and heirlooms. The flames were visible from their backyard. The decision to leave was heart-wrenching. They joined the thousands fleeing the city. Elsewhere, an elderly couple refused to leave. Their home was all they had. Firefighters begged them to evacuate. They refused. They believed they could defend their home. They used garden hoses and buckets. Their efforts were futile. The fire was merciless. Their story was one of many. Night fell over Los Angeles. The fires illuminated the city. The glow was visible from space. Emergency crews worked through the night. Sleep was a luxury they could not afford. The fight was far from over. The city held its breath. Sarah's team faced a critical moment. The fire tornado changed direction. It headed towards a hospital. Patients were being evacuated. Time was running out. Sarah made a bold decision. They would create a barrier. It was a dangerous plan. Failure was not an option. The team worked with urgency. They used every tool at their disposal. The fire roared closer. The heat was unbearable. The air was thick with ash. The team held their ground. They succeeded. The hospital was saved. Cheers erupted among the crew. It was a small victory. It gave them hope. The days turned into weeks. The fires continued to burn. Containment was slowly achieved. Rain finally arrived. It was a blessing. It helped douse the flames. The fires were brought under control. The damage was done. Lives were lost. Homes were destroyed. The scars would remain. The recovery process began. Communities rallied together. Funds were raised. Volunteers rebuilt homes. Trees were replanted. The city started to heal. Stories of heroism emerged. Sarah's team was hailed as heroes. They remained humble. They knew the fight was ongoing. Experts called for change. Policies were reviewed. Efforts to combat climate change intensified. The lessons were clear. The future depended on action. The wildfires of 2025 were a turning point. They were a wake-up call for humanity. Life slowly returned to normal. The sky was clear once more. The city was forever changed. The memories of the fires lingered. The stories were passed down. They were a reminder of resilience, a testament to the human spirit. Los Angeles endured. It rose from the ashes. Months after the fires subsided, investigations began. Scientists examined the fire patterns. They discovered unusual accelerants. Speculation arose about human involvement. Could arson have played a role? The evidence was inconclusive. Authorities promised to investigate further. The public demanded answers. Sarah Morgan was called to testify. Her first-hand account was invaluable. She spoke of the fire tornado. She described the relentless flames. She recounted the bravery of her team. Her words inspired action. Lawmakers pledged to prioritize wildfire prevention. Funding for fire departments was increased. Awareness campaigns were launched. Communities began to implement changes. Fire-resistant materials were used in construction. Urban planning considered wildfire risks. Schools taught children about fire safety. The collective effort brought hope. People believed in a safer future. The scars of 2025 became lessons. Elsewhere, nature began to recover. Forests slowly regrew. Wildlife returned to charred landscapes. Conservationists worked tirelessly. They reintroduced native species. They removed invasive plants. The ecosystem adapted. The resilience of nature was evident. It was a symbol of renewal. The story of the 2025 wildfires spread worldwide. It was a warning and a lesson. Other nations took notice. Global efforts to combat climate change intensified. Renewable energy projects expanded. Deforestation decreased. Cooperation between nations increased. The world began to change. Sarah Morgan continued her work. She trained the next generation of firefighters. She shared her experiences. She inspired others to join the fight. Her legacy grew. She became a symbol of courage. Her story was told for generations. It became a part of history. Los Angeles became a beacon of resilience. The city rebuilt itself stronger. It became a leader in sustainable living. Its people remembered the fires. They honored the lost. They celebrated the survivors. The city thrived. It became a testament to human determination. The wildfires of 2025 were devastating. They were also transformative. They united people. They sparked change. They reminded humanity of its strength. The flames were a trial by fire. The lessons were burned into memory. The legacy of the fires lived on. It shaped the future. It defined a generation. In the years that followed, new technology emerged. Drones were developed to monitor fire patterns. Advanced firefighting equipment was invented. Early warning systems became more accurate. These innovations saved countless lives. Governments around the world adopted them. Collaboration between nations grew stronger. Sarah retired after decades of service. She left behind a legacy of bravery. Her name was etched into the history of firefighting. She spent her days educating the youth. She traveled the world sharing her story. She remained an advocate for change. Her influence continued to grow. The landscape of Los Angeles evolved. Parks and green spaces were designed with fire resistance in mind. Water conservation became a priority. Renewable energy powered the city. Solar panels covered rooftops. Wind turbines dotted the outskirts. Los Angeles became a model for resilience and innovation. The scars of the 2025 wildfires faded. With time, nature reclaimed the land. Trees grew tall once more. Animals returned to their habitats. People built stronger communities. They celebrated their progress. They honored their losses. The memory of the fires became a symbol of hope. Future generations learned from the past. They understood the importance of balance. They recognized the need for harmony with nature. The lessons of 2025 shaped their decisions. They carried the torch of resilience. They vowed to protect the planet. The fires of 2025 marked a turning point. They were a reminder of nature's power. They were a testament to humanity's strength. They inspired change on a global scale. The world became more united. It worked towards a common goal, a safer future for all.